Hi everyone, me and Liz are off out somewhere, but I'm using the time just while I'm driving to where we're going, just to do a little bit of an analysis on dehydrated, you see. That's why I think like that when I'm dehydrated.
Your lips are sticking to your teeth.
Shall I just do
call you Esther Ross.
the video like this? Hi everyone.
Silly.
Hi everyone, me and Liz are off out somewhere, and I'm just using this little bit of time that we've got whilst we're driving to where we're going to go, just to do a little bit of a talk about a video that's been quite prominent on X, or formerly known as Twitter, over the last couple of weeks. It is something that I reposted because I thought it was disgraceful. It's the clip, you may have seen it, where the BMW driver does a right turn, cuts the corner and just wellies the cyclist. People have asked me, as they normally do, what's my opinion on it. So what we're going to do, we're going to use this little opportunity just while we're driving to give Liz, and Liz hasn't seen the clip, we're going to give Liz her first opinion on it whilst we watch the clip, and then I've got a few little things that I'd just like to add. Liz, it's on my phone. You'll probably have to unlock it, and then it's just there in front of you, to be honest. So, have you got it?
Yep.
We're playing.
What was that car doing?
It's not really nice, that, is it? So the car obviously comes in and cuts the corner, as I've mentioned, but what's your thoughts? Do you think the cyclist could have done much about that? No, they couldn't have done, could they?
Unless the car didn't see him behind the other car.
Right, okay. That's interesting, because that's one of the little points that I am going to go on to in a moment. They should have still seen them. But,
with the bonnet.
On that point, so you know the cyclist goes round that first one, and they are tucked in quite close to that white car, I think it is, that does the right turn. You have to excuse me because I haven't got a clip, I'm just doing it by memory. They're tucked in quite close to the car that turns out before the one turns in. And
they won't see through the line of sight then? Maybe
not, all right. And there is a little bit to it as well, where the cyclist sort of dismounts and sits down. So maybe just their head is visible over the top. So that is one of the things that I'd just like to say to anyone cycling out there. And as normal, I'm talking about these points. I'm not victim blaming. People think that I just point out these things just to be a victim blamer against the cyclist. No, make this clear. The motorist is legally at fault. But remember, I don't talk about stuff at fault and blame. It's just what people could do to maybe stop this incident happening.
To keep them safe.
To keep them safe.
That's what you're doing it for.
That's what I'm doing it for, exactly. And people don't get this. So the cyclist, they were a little close in at one point, and they sat down, and it's that little point where maybe they're not seen. So that's maybe one thing. I still don't think it would have much of an effect on this particular clip. I still think, honestly, that inept driving is an absolute disgrace. I'm going to go on to that in a second. But there's one more little thing just about the cycling I'd just like to talk about. I think the cyclist was a little close to the centre line. I don't think this, again, would affect things much. But if the cyclist was a little more to the left, like they should be, when you're doing a right turn like that, try and be an outstretched arm width away from that centre line. So that would put the cyclist a little more in the middle. And I think there's just a little bit better chance that the cyclist is going to be seen from the middle of the lane behind a car rather than tucked out to the right-hand side. So just bear that in mind. But that's it, finished with the cyclist. Like I said, there's very little that they could have done differently. On the driver though, they do cut the corner terribly. And what usually goes on with people cutting the corner is they don't change the speed well enough, and they're looking in the wrong place. I've done a load recently on the channel about where to look to steer, and it's one of the main skills that people have problems with, and it's the common reason why people cut the corner, as well as being too fast. And that's effectively what I think happened with the BMW driver. You can see the white car pull out, so that's all the BMW driver saw, so therefore they're going for that gap. And what they actually did, they looked over the bonnet to do the turn as opposed to looking out of the right window. You should be looking out of this door window, and that's why I've positioned this camera on this A-pillar today. I'm going to try and demo a right turn a little bit further up, but you'll see whether I'm looking here to do the turn out the front window or here to do the turn out of the side window. So the BMW driver comes in too quick, they're rushing to take the gap, the traffic does look busy, and all they've probably seen is the white car pull out, they've maybe missed the cyclist, and when they should be looking into that road, I think the cyclist is tucked right behind the A-pillar. And what you need to do when you are cycling is being aware of these scenarios. I don't think the cyclist, like I said, could have done differently, because in different scenarios when they're out on the road, they're moving, so you can adapt and change your speed a little more. But it's just unfortunate that the cyclist was right at that giveaway line and had nothing that they can do. So when people do cut corners, it's because they look over the front and they don't look out of this side. I'm going to wait till I get to a right turn so I can demonstrate it. So I'm going to do a right turn at these traffic lights. I know the situation's slightly different, but I'm going to do a right turn here to give you an idea of what's what. Now, to a certain extent, you need to do this at traffic lights because I need to turn in a near side manner in front of the police van a little bit further up. But I'm still going to try and give you an idea. What I do here is sort of what the BMW driver did. I can't go all the way up to the halfway point of the junction like the BMW driver should have done, because if that's the case, myself and the police van will be nose to nose. I've got to turn early. So what I've got to do here is stay about a car length before the halfway point, so myself and the driver of this police vehicle can turn with each other. But normally I'd be a lot further up. I'm going to try and do this now as well. When this Jaguar's gone, I'm going to go up to where I should go.
I've decided to pause the clip just here because it's a perfect demonstration of how little you see of your exit road when you're just staring ahead.
And then look to the right and do the turn. And even there, I was able to see those two people in the road. And because I looked out of this window as opposed to the one in front, honestly, I had to go slower as well. So that, in a nutshell, is the mistake that the BMW driver did. And it's super common. People rush, people are impatient, they don't look properly, they don't slow down enough. And honestly, this collision is all down to those things. So can you look out for those things when you are cycling though? And remember, that's my whole point of this channel. It's not to finger point at people who have been smashed into by a 2-ton metal box. No, it's to try and help you spot these things, so potentially there's a chance of it not happening to you. Keep safe, everyone. I'll see you soon.